They've won Tonys and Oscars and Emmys and Grammys. There's no red carpet because they're home in their jammies. From Melrose Place to Broadway to Janeway and her crew. Let Seth and James bring all the stars to you.
Anywho.
They're entertaining everyone, so who's gonna grouse? Just sit right back and you'll hear some tales on Stars in the House.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome to Stars in the House.
First of all, FYI, we can actually see people backstage. And during the opening number, Allison was dancing.
Yes.
Hi, Allison. It's not a dance number. Okay, hold on.
It's always a dance number, Seth. It's always danceable.
I gotta go. Okay, so that's A. This is Stars in the House. You may be saying to yourself, we love West Wing, but we don't know what the H Stars in the House is.
Yes.
We began Stars in the House when everything shut down. Broadway shut down on a Thursday. We began this the following Monday. And we just had our 1-year anniversary.
On Tuesday.
Yeah, because it's, a day later, a year later. We are raising money for the Actors Fund. And you may say, what is the Actors Fund? James, what is the Actors Fund?
The Actors Fund. The Actors Fund is a misnomer, as Seth always likes to say. He likes to show off his high SAT scores.
It's also my drag name. Misnomer? Anybody?
Yes.
Work.
Well, it's been around for well over 100 years, and it's a human services organization that helps every professional in the performing arts all over the country. It is not just actors. We're not talking only Broadway actors, only TV actors. We're talking about people who live in Denver or Dallas or Des Moines, Iowa, who work in an opera house or have a ballet company or were a performer on a cruise line that shut down or worked at Disney World or Disneyland and were performers there, or people who did the lights for the shows or the sound. All of those people, as you know, have been in great need of help, and the Actors Fund comes in for those professionals by giving the essentials like rent, literally giving them money for rent, for their food, for utilities, for health insurance. They started in the fall a program to help people navigate the health insurance crisis because so many people have lost their health insurance.
Yeah, because when you're a performer in the performing arts, the amount of weeks you work helps you get health insurance, and no one's worked. I mean, basically in the live performing arts, they haven't worked, so all their insurance is gone. So the Actors Fund helps you navigate that. I love that someone literally hashtag what I always say: front of the house, back of the house.
That's true.
Literally backstage, in front of the camera, behind the camera, they will help you. So listen, if you're a performer, if you know a performer struggling right now, a lot of people don't know if they can get help. They can go to actorsfund.org and you can get direct financial assistance. As a matter of fact, if you've already gotten direct financial assistance from the Actors Fund, they're now in their second wave. So you can go back again and say, I'm literally in crisis again.
Absolutely. And thanks to viewers over this past year, and by the way, especially this week, Seth wasn't just turning to the couch. She was talking to our dog. When Allison Janney did her sound check earlier, her dog was going crazy. And I said, well, we've got 4 of them. So we have no problem here.
She's already crying because she's not getting enough attention.
She's actually, it's going to be one of those nights. So Allison, especially if our dog knows when a guest has a dog. So Allison, if your dog starts barking, it's going to be hell to pay. It's going to be hell to pay because our dog will try to outbark your dog.
How do people donate?
Well, hold on though. We are up to
how much money have we raised?
$769,725. Yes.
And dancing. Yeah. So we've raised over $750,000. We've been raising crazy amounts of money for our anniversary week. We have our big show. Allison now has a guitar. I don't know what is happening. Allison, hold on. What is happening?
The mute must be on because I'm playing some mean licks here.
so if that's muted, but your voice isn't. Okay, gotta go.
Well, hold on. No, Allison, though, can help us because she has this amazing...
Oh, right.
Okay, so literally 20 minutes ago...
Well, let's first just say, listen, if you want to just donate money, which please, God, we need, you go to starsinthehouse.com. It'll go right to the Actors Fund. Once you donate that money to the Actors Fund, and $5 is the minimum because it can't tabulate less than that, forward your receipt. You're going to get a receipt. Forward it to donations@starsinthehouse.com. We're going to have one of these amazing stars read it tonight. So they'll read your name in their sassy character.
Or scroll down on the bottom. It'll be the luck of the draw who gets to be read by one of the stars of the West Wing.
But it's tax deductible.
Yeah. Or by the way, you can text FUN 2020 to 56512. There it is on the screen.
Correct.
And again, as Seth said, you can forward that receipt to donations@starsinthehouse. So the dog is already starting up. She knows that we're about to bring Allison back on because right as we were teching, I said, Allison, do you have anything that you can give to people who are donating a lot of money tonight to the Actors Fund? And she was like, I'll be right back. And she came back with not one, but 2 incredible items. I don't know how she got them, but she does. Seth, bring on Allison.
Hi, Al.
Okay, I'll tell you what. These are things that I stole. Well, I don't want to say stole. I took because I felt I deserved them on the last day of shooting of The West Wing. Everyone was having their Steve Martin, the jerk moment. You're like, I'm gonna have this and this. That's all I need, whatever. So I kind of ripped this off the off CJ Craig's office of the chief of staff, and it happened to have John Spencer's character's name on the back, Leo McGarry, which makes it extra special. And then, of course, I will sign it. But there's that. Oh, I'm so mad with the camera.
You got it. There you go.
And then I also have this, which was on CJ's desk, which says CJ Craig, chief of staff. And wait, there's one more. You said 2, but there's 3 because I dug deep. And I found this lovely T-shirt.
Whoa!
Ziegler 2020. This was like back in, whenever that was, before the last election, and someone made these up. So there's that to auction off too.
Oh,
somebody's going to want to. I cannot figure out for the life. Is this a math thing where I can't figure out the
Yeah.
Okay, there. It's pretty great. So that's what I got. And there could be more. I think we're thinking of doing some Zoom, group Zoom things or whatever you guys need, because I want to help and we all want to help.
Aww.
Okay, we love it. Now go back to your dance class. Thank you, Al. Okay.
So Seth, tell people, because we just talked.
Okay, we just talked. This is such a last minute thing. We had to figure out from the Actors Fund how to do this. So we were talking to our West Wing friends, and they were like, "That is worth so much money." They're like, minimum $2,500 each. So that's what our West Wing friends super fan said. Yeah. So here's the deal. All the donations are tax deductible. So if you want one of those things, it's got to be at least $2,500.
And talk about collector's items.
Come on. It could also be more. So here's how we're going to do it. If you donate $2,500 and you want that, forward your receipt to donationsatstarsintthehouse.com and say you want it. The highest donation will get it. So if we have 10 people donating $2,500, but then someone donates $2,750, they're going to be the one to get it. And then if we have people matched, 2 people donate at the exact same amount, whoever sends their receipt first will get it. So that's how we're going to handle it tonight. We had to really figure out the math. So you make the donation, you forward the receipt, and you say, I want one of those 3 things, $2,500, and the highest donation will get it by midnight Eastern time.
Right. And I think, as Allison just said, we're still trying to figure it out, but I have a feeling that some cast members, I don't know who, because we're figuring it out as we go along. Some cast members would do a Zoom call. So I'm just saying, maybe if someone doesn't get that $2,500, or they donate $1,000 or $1,500 or $2,000, this West Wing cast is amazing and kind and generous. And Allison is nodding right now. And if Allison Janney is nodding, I'm sure that we will work it out as far as a Zoom call. Oh my gosh, look what Allison's doing. Okay, let's just say it involved taking off clothing. Seth didn't say that.
That's for $2,600. But guys, any donation counts. So make any donation you can and forward those receipts to donations@starsintthehouse.com, and we'll have the actors read your names tonight. So no matter what, forward your receipts so we can hear all the donations we're making tonight.
Absolutely. And before we forget, before we bring on some of the cast members, we have to divide it up. We're kind of dividing it up because we can only have so many people on the screen. So Mary McCormack and Jimmy Smits are coming on after our medical break, which is a good reminder. A friend of Allison Janney's, Dr. John LaPook, is going to be here for our COVID-19 medical break that we take about halfway through the show. Give the actors some time. I'm hoping maybe Allison can join and join us with John. And I think that's it. Oh, and like, share, and subscribe.
But literally. So the video right now that you're watching, because it really helps Stars in the House. It helps us get big casts like West Wing. So just push like on the YouTube. Can you also subscribe? And that way you could find out all the new TV shows that are going to come on to reunions. Like tomorrow, a former West Wing not staffer, cast member, Tim Busfield, has gotten the entire cast of 30-something on tomorrow. So there's episode on tomorrow, but we have a lot of secret reunions coming. So subscribe so you can find out first. Okay, so here we go. Let's start bringing on these clowns. Yes. Okay, who are we going to bring on? Well,
Allison Janney.
No big surprise. Bring on
No big
Allison
surprise.
Janney.
Let's bring on CJ.
Oh my God, Allison's here.
Allison.
Oh my God. How did I get here? I don't know. I have no idea. Poof, I'm here.
And your right-hand person that CJ could not, I think, do her job without Melissa Fitzgerald.
No. Yeah.
No.
House. Carol's in the house.
Carol.
And I just texted Martin in my role as Carol.
And what did he
He's
say?
joining. He's
Oh,
coming.
good. Oh, thank God.
He's had a bunch of recordings, so he's on his way.
All right. Well, by the time we get through everyone, it'll all be good. It's all good.
And I too am a dog person, by the way. I'm living with 3 dogs as well. So
I think I turned you into a dog person.
you did.
I really did. And
I 100% agree.
I turned a lot of people into dog people because they're just the best. Dogs are my life. And
Yeah.
Do they sleep in your bed, Allison and Melissa? Are they in your bed?
I want mine to, but they
Yes.
don't.
Melissa.
When I stay at Allison's, her one dog does sleep in my room. Dutch, my boyfriend Dutch.
Yeah.
Allison, that's depressing. Melissa, that's adorable.
Okay. Speaking of a right-hand people where the White House could not exist, Janel Moloney.
Yay!
Hi, Donna.
Lily.
Hello.
Janelle.
Good evening.
Hi, sweetie.
Hi.
Janelle, you've got some
Hi.
mood lighting going on. I like
Yeah,
it.
you've got very
Did
nice.
no, I just didn't have a chance to like get my ring going.
You've got Tom Ruth lighting going on there.
It was either lighting or actually doing it. Here, I'll get everything a little.
No, it looks good. You look good, babe. It looks
No, I
beautiful.
like it. Leave it.
Yeah, it's
There you
working.
go.
8 p.m. in New York. I like it.
Yeah, 8 p.m. Kids are going to bed. I got out of bedtime, which was always a wonderful thing. No, really, it's all about the Actors Fund.
And by the way, look at the people already at the bottom that are scrolling that have donated.
Whoa, they're
It's
pouring in.
amazing.
Wow.
All right.
That's what that is there? That's like
Oh, wow. Stacey from New York.
From New York.
$50. Thank you,
Rhonda from California.
$50. Christopher from Massachusetts, $20.
Lauren from Brooklyn. I'm in Brooklyn.
$180.
$180, Lauren.
That's all
Come on,
happening.
Yeah,
DC.
Lauren.
Come on, DC. I'm in DC.
That's so great.
Represent.
Come on, California. Come on, Ohio.
That's right. That's right.
Midwest.
All right. And who does Donna Moss help? Josh Lyman, otherwise
Whoa.
known Brad. Whitford. Brad.
Woo.
Yay, Brad.
How are you?
Where are you, Brad?
I just got back. I'm in California. I'm back.
Oh, yay.
Back from Toronto.
You're back.
Dogs. Did anybody see the sweet but slightly disturbing video of Brad making out with his large dog? That the dog licked him from here to
I
here.
thought
for
it was
about
sweet as
45
can be.
minutes.
Was that a
I-
recent post that I missed, that we missed, Brad? Was that a recent post? Or how
It was a recent post. Actually, I think, Allison, I think I told you this, but I am obsessed with dogs. And I was in Toronto and I had no dogs, no people.
Oh.
And I was way up in a building and I had binoculars and I realized one day that I was looking out, that I was following dogs that were getting walked at certain times. And then when I got out of quarantine, I would just go to the dog park. And after a couple of days, this woman said to me, "Which one's yours?" And I said, "Oh, none. I just miss my dog." And she stepped away from me like I was a pederast at a playground.
Lovely.
Wait a minute, Brad. You were filming *Handmaid's Tale*, which is dark enough, and you didn't have your dog.
Oh, sad.
That's
Yeah.
sad.
Why did
Although-
you have binoculars? That's my question.
Thank you.
Good question, Janelle.
Like you just threw that out like I had binoculars.
You do?
Somebody gave me some.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Somebody gave me some.
Mhm.
Sure
Okay.
they did.
But actually, Handmaids is a very sweet set. I always tell the story that the material's brutal, but the crew are these genetically, stereotypically the sweetest people on the planet, Canadians. And like one day the AD came in and said, okay, I don't want to rush you, but I think we should get the nooses on the girls. It's a very, very strange dichotomy.
That's good.
Okay, wait. Before we begin, we always have the same opening that Allison danced to, but our friend Jack Plotnick redid our opening. So let's officially begin the West Wing with our new Stars in the House opening, just for you guys.
Okay.
They've won Tonys and Oscars and Emmys and Grammys. There's no
Wrong one.
Sorry.
You did the wrong one.
I did the wrong
Hold on.
one. Sorry, David just
That's
busted
it,
me.
Seth. It was down here.
Wait, really?
Yeah,
Sorry.
it's right there. We're doing it ourselves.
We're
There
married.
you go.
Okay,
West
here we go.
Wing.
1, 2, 3, go.
They've won Tonys and Oscars and Emmys and Grammys. There's no red carpet because they're home in their jammies. From Melrose Place to Broadway to Janeway and her crew. Let Seth and James bring all the stars to you.
Anywho.
They're entertaining everyone, so who's gonna grouse? Just sit right back and you'll hear some tales on Stars in the House.
Tag.
There we go.
Beautiful.
Dedicated to you.
Lovely.
That
Okay,
music,
we are-
Snuffy Walden's music, it still
I
makes
know.
me cry every time I hear it. It gives me tingles.
Did you guys were you
Bingo.
did you guys go into the recording studio? Were we all there? Were you standing in the back when they played it?
You got to go into the recording studio when they played?
Yeah.
Whoa.
No.
My invitation must have blown off the porch.
I wasn't a
Go on
regular
now.
then. They didn't even give me food or a bathroom then.
Yeah, it was just the men in the cast.
So tell us about it, Brad. What was that like?
Only the white
Sexist.
males were permitted.
I want to
Yeah.
hear, Brad. What was that like when you heard Snuffy record that?
It
Beautiful.
was, what's the word? A privilege. No, it was amazing because I had no idea what was going to come, and I was blown away.
Yeah.
In case people think that everyone's exaggerating about Bradley and the dog, we actually tracked it down. Let's take a gander at the inappropriate behavior.
It's really, get ready for some discomfort.
Not for me. I'll be like, bring it.
Exactly.
Me too.
Oh,
Me too. And I
we
want
go.
to give a shout out to our dog, our family dog we lost this week, Indy. So
Oh, Melissa.
Godspeed, Indy.
Aw, Andy.
Well, look at this love.
That wasn't it, but it was
That wasn't
adorable.
it.
But it was adorable.
It was
I
adorable.
think you just woke up our dog who's asleep in the other room.
Bradley, you were committed. That is like
You were.
Edward Meisner, like commitment. Bravo.
Yeah, he went for it. And he looks so much like
It
John.
was a good payoff because he did, he finally. Oh,
1
Brad.
o'clock number.
So cute.
Otis, come here.
Oh,
Well,
that's
it
great.
looks like your boss is in the house here. Let me see.
Bring him in.
Sheen,
Mr.
President Bartlett. Let me
Sure.
see.
Hold on.
I don't want to bring him on unless he's ready.
Martin, are you ready to be brought on?
He's always ready.
He's always ready.
He's here.
You
Always.
are ready.
Always.
Here he
Always.
is.
Martin
Sheen.
Yay!
My blessings befall and crush you and squeeze all the negative things out of your life, out of your brain and soul, lift you up like a balloon off the edge of a cliff in Malibu, and may you descend onto a soft sand with a breeze that shoos you along towards the hot dog salesman down there in the corner who sells a wonderful hot dog. But it's Friday and it's Lent and I can't eat one now, so have one in my name. Melissa, I heard one of the dogs died. Which one?
Well, not one of the ones in this house. My nephews, James and Russell, and Leslie, their dog Indy died in Philly.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
But
Oh,
Martin knows the dogs here in DC. He has
I
met
adore
2 of
them.
the 3.
and I don't
and they
mind
love
saying,
him.
They do love. They love Janet too, because
They do love Jan.
I'm still afraid of them, but Janet's not afraid. How
Martin,
is it? Brad, I just thought you get murdered. My God, you were slaughtered and you had done an operation and you were doing very well on the brain, and suddenly you've been attacked and you're falling on the floor and bleeding all over the place. I never saw that film, but Janet said, come and look, because these are the guys you worked with in Black Messiah, Judas and the Black Messiah. And they're wonderful. But I only saw you get killed, so I don't know. Janet said you were wonderful before your death, and I assume she's right. So
I was not in the Black Messiah.
Martin was.
Right.
Oh yeah, no, I know.
Martin was. Come on.
I thought you were talking about
Get Out.
Huh? You're talking about Get Out?
You're talking about
Yes.
Get Out.
Get Out, yes. I just saw you. I'd never seen it before. Because when I got asked to do the scene in Judas and the Black Messiah,
yeah,
somebody said, oh my God, you're going to be working with those guys from Get Out. I'd never seen it. Janet said,
by the way, Black Messiah is incredible. And,
thank you. It's
are amazing.
Those guys are something, aren't they?
Yeah, they're amazing.
It's an uncompromising film. And I tell you what, the greatest thing doing on it was that young director, King, Shaka King. He's extraordinary. And he still takes care of his mother and father in an apartment in Brooklyn.
Wow.
Yeah, wow.
Brooklyn.
Oh, wait. Bradley and Martin, you totally coordinated your looks. The hair, the glasses. It's
I know.
for me.
The folks behind you.
Switch the names. I'll take Bradley, and Bradley, you can have me. He's considerably younger. And, yeah. Is everyone fine?
Yeah.
So far, so good. We're all good here, I think. I mean,
Malina's not coming here, is he?
Yes, Malina helped put the whole thing together.
yeah, but he's not showing up.
Exactly.
It's Friday night. He can't. He does Shabbat.
Do it before he shows
He's
up.
the Shabbat.
Yeah.
Wait, he didn't show up because of his Shabbat? We would have moved it to Saturday, but he's the one who chose Friday night, passive-aggressive style.
No, he said he could do Saturday, but not Friday. And we all said we could do. I said I could do either day, and I think
me
there were
too.
enough conflicts that people couldn't do Saturday, so we chose Friday over Malina. As you do.
All right, well, we
Josh
have.
said Friday, so he who knows? Maybe he really didn't want to do it, you guys.
No, we have a beautiful video sent from the Holy Land from Josh. Not really, but from his house. Here he is.
Let's see.
Hi, everybody. Joshua Malina here. A lot of people tell me that I look like the character Will Bailey from The West Wing, only much older. In any event, I'm sorry that I couldn't be there live to join the fun, but I've heard all these stories before. Enough. In answer to Brad Whitford's inevitable question, yes, I am still doing the acting thing. The career is going just fine. Thank you for asking, Brad. And because I'm still an actor, I can say that I support the Actors Fund, and I appreciate that you guys are raising money. Love to Seth and James, and thanks to everybody who's tuning in. Please donate. The services that the Actors Fund provides for the entertainment community are invaluable, especially now during these dark times. Love you all. Mwah.
I don't believe a word of that.
Well, I have just one question.
I have a lot of notes.
Are we eligible for something from the Actors Fund in lieu of, what's been happening over the last year?
Yes. Are you an actor?
That's it.
Turn the camera off.
Oh dear God!
Dude, if it weren't for my husband, I would be like tapping that Actors Fund. I'd be like, hello.
Well, you know what? There's been so much need. It's amazing that we've raised, over $750,000, but the Actors Fund in the last year has given over $20 million in grants to people in the arts across the country.
That's
because
incredible.
of the great need.
Yeah.
Can I ask? I know this is really ignorant, but I think a lot of people will wonder, where does the money in general from the Actors Fund come? Like that big amount of money, where does that come from? It's not you guys raising it as much as you.
It's a couple of
do.
things. Broadway Cares, Equity Fights AIDS. They are a big grant maker. They grant the Actors Fund a lot of money. I think they're the biggest grant maker out of everybody. So Broadway Cares, Equity Fights AIDS, and that money comes from direct donations after Broadway shows and stuff.
Yeah.
Plus, we're very proud to say that Stars in the House, we kind of put the Actors Fund on the map a little bit this year, and they got 2 giant donations from
Netflix gave $2 million.
Wow.
And I believe TikTok gave $1 million.
Cool.
So it's come from different sources over the last year.
And then on top of that, it's, it's direct donations, and they do, like Allison would know, you do a 9th Broadway show. When you're doing a Broadway show, you do 8 shows a week. Every 6 months, you do a 9th show, and nobody gets paid, and all the money that comes into that Broadway show goes to the Actors Fund. So there are lots of different creative ways that they raise money. Now, speaking of that, Malina said he wanted a lot of music tonight. I don't know why, but
we became hostage to Malina,
and then he didn't show up
because he was here for Scandal several weeks ago, and afterward we were like, Josh, we so want West Wing, and Allison's busy. We don't want to bug Allison with mom and all of that. So can you help make it happen? And Josh is like, sure, but you got to have music in it. You have to have music.
I know,
and he's not here.
So, Allison, I want to talk to you. I know. I want to talk to you about your Broadway musical, Allison. Okay. What was it like? What was it like, Allison, starring in a Broadway musical, singing and dancing?
I was very intimidated. I felt, I had done musicals in high school. My first performance was as Noah Claypool, the Undertaker's son, in Oliver.
Gender bend.
That was my very first performance on the stage. And from there, so I definitely did musicals in high school, but I never thought that I would be on the Broadway in a musical. And when Joe Mantello called me after I had finished West Wing and said, why don't you come do this? And I'm like, Joe, I'm not a singer. He said, that's exactly why I want you. I want you because you're not a singer. And I can sing, but I'm not, I like singing in the chorus. You know what I mean? So I was kind of the Rex Harrison in the group. I actually, he's probably better at talk singing than I am, but I was intimidated. It was terrifying. And it was also so much fun, and one of the most exhausting things I've ever done. The schedule is pretty. I have new respect for everyone who did and will again do Broadway musicals. It requires quite a discipline, a lot of self-care. It was daunting, but man, am I glad I can say that I did it.
That's right, girl.
You were so good, Allison.
Yes, good.
I just remember you rocked this white suit. Do you remember that?
Yep.
Everyone who saw it.
Oh yeah.
There were men on all sides.
Oh, one of the
there
boys.
was lifting going on,
and Dolly was there. Dolly was so sweet. We did the cast album of 9 to 5, and Dolly said she just was so. She said, Allison, you're a studio singer. And I was very comfortable in the studio. On stage every night, I wasn't always so great, You
were great.
But in the studio, gold.
Wow.
But
it's interesting. I saw Bradley on James Corden, and Bradley, you're doing this whole show in a full split right now, right? He's extremely flexible on James Corden. But Allison, your front bot mont, you have a crazy high kick. What up with that?
I do. Well, I did do the dance when my mother, thank God, my mother and father made me take my mother probably because my mother was a dancer. I took ballet and modern dance, and as a very tall girl, I think it was great because I learned how to stand upright and carry my body and own it and walk into a room and. Yeah, I'm 6 feet tall, but I'm going to stand up straight. I think it was really a wonderful thing to learn, to study as a young girl, because it served me very well all my life in this career and as a person, so dancing. Yeah. So I got a high kick.
And work. And Janel, I think this is the number you're talking about. Allison?
One of the
Yeah.
I think I had to wear Depends during that number.
That's so
My
amazing.
God, that was fun. Yeah, that was a pretty pinch me moment to get to do that. I loved it.
Oh my
And I
God.
see Andy Carl at the very end. You get that little kiss to Andy Carl. It's so sweet.
Andy Carl, and then he went. I like to think that I had something to do with just jetting him off into incredible stardom. After that, he just started booking everything. He was just the man.
Groundhog Day.
Still is Groundhog Day. He's so delightful. Everyone on that show is so lovely, especially Dolly. I mean, how great was, Dolly she was so generous with her time and with her support of me. I was constantly feeling I'm not worthy. And she's like, you can sing, Allison. You're just like me. I wasn't a singer when I started either. She just always made me feel better than I did. And I loved her for it.
And now we have a vaccine because of her. Thanks, Dolly.
Yeah. The Dolly Moderna, right?
Yeah, that's right.
She does so much too. She has a book program, like First Books for like any kid can get a book, I think once a month under 4 in this country. She's amazing.
Wow.
She's a national treasure.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
remember the first night, I think it might've been the first night of previews, Allison, of that show when it was in LA at the Taper. It started, the curtain went up, and then there was a technical difficulty and everyone was quiet. Do you remember that? Everyone was quiet, and all of a sudden Dolly was in the audience and she just stood up and she led the entire theater in a chorus of 9 to 5. And it was one of the best, incredible. She was just so charming and so wonderful. And everybody was on her side and your side and the show's side. And it was just great.
Yeah. She had a lot. What's that, Brad?
It's
Dolly
Dolly
Parton's
Parton
laugh.
votive candidate.
Oh my God. I love it.
Oh my gosh.
I want one.
It's the Church of Dolly.
I know I have a mug that says pour myself
Where's
a cup
that?
of ambition.
So we have oh my gosh.
This
We
is
have so many
such-
clips,
Aw.
and of course we're already like 20 minutes further down the pike than I thought we'd be at this point. Chitty chatting here. We could be here all night, but I want to talk about the cliffhanger. Everyone talks about the pilot, which was brilliant, but the cliffhanger was like that was pretty like we're gonna have to wait months and months.
It was before streaming,
Before streaming, where we could just like automatically like go to season 2, episode 1, and find out who lived and died. Did any of you know who was going to live, who was going to die, who was hurt, who wasn't, or was it all revealed to you when you came back to film the second season?
I got a call over the summer where because we weren't sure who was shot. When we left, and Aaron said, "I just want you to know you're the one who shot," and it was a perfect showbiz like moment of wow, that's a great compliment. And am I fired? Like, it's a horrible thing, like with Mrs. Landingham. Like
I know.
there's this horror. Like she was like. I guess story-wise, it was because she was so beloved that it was so catastrophic for her to be killed. So let that be a lesson. Don't be too adorable on your TV show, or you'll be taken out.
Well, to me it led to with the season 2, episode 1. With President Bartlett in the hospital, it really kind of set in motion the MS secret storyline. And to me, there were so many wonderful John Spencer moments, but Martin Sheen President Bartlett giving him a kiss is a heartbreaking, beautiful scene. I just want to show it. I got like 30 seconds of it right here.
Do we know who the shooters were?
No.
I'm gonna be under anesthesia for a couple of hours.
It'll be fine.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
I'll talk to Abby.
Sir, it's time. Hey, come here. It's okay.
I'll see you in a few hours, Mr. President.
It's beautiful.
So beautiful.
I still miss him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Richard Schiff looks like he's here. There was a little bit of a delay.
Looks like he's on an iPhone, but it's gonna be interesting.
We're gonna see what happens. He's on an iPhone, which always can be tricky. Richard Schiff, should we try it?
I think so.
Okay, one.
Sorry, I had a lot of dogs running into my.
No, that's fine, Allison. You're fine. Hi, Richard.
Hey, Richard, you're so organized.
How am I organized?
Look behind you.
This is this. I'm in a production office. This. I would never.
I know it was a joke.
I don't even know how to read a calendar.
Obviously, Richard, that was the joke.
Thank you, Janel.
Richard, are you in Vancouver?
Huh?
Are you in Vancouver?
Apparently, my brain is on delay. I'm going to get the joke now. Ha! I will answer your question. Yes, I'm in Vancouver, and I just wrapped the day's work.
Okay.
On a is that Martin? Ask
yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Hey, Martin.
How you doing?
I'm doing better now that I see all your faces. Oh, that was sweet. That was really sweet.
What's that
have we stopped talking? Is it just
no. There's so many scenes here. I was going to say, you know what? That talking about the MS and that storyline led to one of my favorite scenes of yours, Richard. When you're in the Oval and you've had this scene. How would you set it up, Seth?
Well, I love it, Richard, because you're so hurt that he didn't tell you about the MS, but you can't really fully express it. So you have all this sort of rage and hurt, and you express it in the most respectable, positive way you can. It's just such good acting.
After the crazy anger earlier.
Yeah, I love it.
Mr. President, at some point in the near future, we're going to have to speak to some lawyers.
Well, that's what usually brings on the episodes, but if you say so.
It's 17 people, by the way.
I'm sorry?
You knew. We weren't counting you. It's 17 people.
Yeah.
Excellent acting, man.
Brad, when one of the things that I liked about the cliffhanger and then about going into season 2 is that a lot of times people are shot in shows and it's like they're kind of like the after effects you never really see.
I'm on Scandal. Every day somebody is murdered and they're like, anywho.
We love Scandal.
I mean, we love it, but like there's no acknowledgement that there's any mental anguish.
Whereas your character really dealt with PTSD and it wasn't like after episode 1 or 2. It was like well into the season.
Did you ever hear from any people with PTSD who appreciated your portrayal?
Yeah, I actually think that happened kind of by accident. My memory may be embellishing this, but understandably, when you're doing a TV show, you have to get rid of that event and move on. And I remember talking to Aaron saying, you know, I know we have to move on, but isn't it a little weird that I got shot in the chest 6 months ago and I'm just snapping wise in the White House?
Yeah.
You know, whenever I think of that, though, I remember when Janel and I ended up in bed and you could see my chest in season 7, and we finished shooting, and I think Chris Mistiano was directing, and we finished, and I was like, "Oh Jesus, we forgot to do a scar."
Oh.
And Chris said, "No one will notice," and nobody ever noticed.
Really?
No, with all the like weird like West Wing fans, nobody's like ever
That's
said
me.
You guys slept together?
Richard only read his scenes in the script, then he just skip scene.
I was probably not even in that episode.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, Richard, we'll show you this little bit since you didn't see the episode, and Brad's brilliant.
You need to listen to me. You have to listen to me. I can't help you unless you listen to me. You can't send Christmas cards to everyone. You can't do it. Forget the SPR. Let's get the IMF loans like we said we were going to. Listen to what I have to say about Didion, and please listen to me.
Yeah.
At it.
I think it's really disrespectful for Richard to eat while I'm acting.
Why should anything be different?
He doesn't seem moved at all.
He had it on mute.
Richard's blown away.
I'm drinking.
Oh my gosh. Hold on, because we've got so many surprises here. Okay, so hold on. We have this season 2, episode 2. That was sort of a flashback episode, right? Like you see everyone how they got introduced.
So good.
It's so good. And I'm trying to find the
Did
one.
you have an? It's
My
called
favorite episode.
Well, it's called Me.
Oh,
Too.
it's your
There it
favorite
is.
episode?
Kind of, yeah. I really enjoyed that episode.
Did you have any?
Mostly because I got so surprised by my character's background. That's one of the fun things about a very good long-running series is you make all these assumptions about your character, and then Erin in like the 3rd season could be like, oh, she's this or she's that, or large things and small things too. It was fun. Like there was a lot of talk, does Donna ski or snowboard at one point, and it was like fun because I already knew the character. It's not like doing a play where in the beginning you're like Donna snowboards or whatever. I always found that fun. All the reveals along the way.
I remember in the 6th episode, I was so naive. There was an episode where I found out that my sister died in a fire. And I was upset, as if I had known that it would have made what I did in the pilot any different.
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't find my last name till season 5.
You would have done some sensory work earlier on.
Oh my gosh. Well, Janelle, we actually have that clip when you and Brad meet for the first time.
It's a lot of who are you?
It's a lot of the back and forth quick that I love.
Did I have an older sister?
Maybe not.
Who are you?
I'm Donna Moss. I came in to volunteer, and the woman assigned me to you.
Which woman?
Betsy.
You mean Margaret?
Yes.
Who are you?
I'm Donna Moss. I'll be working as your assistant.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Seth, were you going to...
I was going to say to Allison, because last night we had Melissa Gilbert and her husband was walking around in the background, and her husband wound up being your husband. I guess we're wondering, do you think now that it's so many years since West Wing, do you think the couple stayed together, or do you think you were too much of a career woman and you moved on?
Oh Lord, I don't know. I think they're probably still together. I think that CJ's on the the speaker circuit thing. I think so. Why not? I think. What do you guys think?
Yes.
Well,
Be positive. I think they're
Danny and
together.
CJ are still together.
I think
together.
I think they're together.
And
they're quarantining together. They're
together. They've written books. CJ's a bestseller, and she's a consultant on so many things. I mean, the White House is currently constantly begging her to come and consult and be she's a mind that people want to have around to access her opinions and expert opinions on everything.
I think there's only really one way to find out if you'd be together. Let's ask.
Tim Busfield?
You think you guys would be together?
Hello.
Timmy. Hello.
I saw you in 9 to 5. You were perfect.
Oh,
you sang great.
Oh my God, Tim, where are you?
I'm in the Catskills. I'm up in my office in Berryville. We got an office up here, and we live outside the city. We were in the city the last few days. We lived right across from James and Seth, and did a lot of game nights with them. And then the pandemic hit, and I gotta say, last night, Little House on the Prairie set records with these guys. So if we're gonna raise money here, and then tomorrow night we're gonna raise money, we're gonna have to really work hard because they're hard to catch, and I don't know why.
Little House was high, but hopefully.
But Allison, show what you're giving here to the highest donor tonight. Those items.
Which one? Well, I've got my official CJ Craig Chief of Staff plaque that I stole on the last day of shooting.
Yeah.
And I could sign that. And then I also took this right off the door of CJ's office, Chief of Staff. And on the back, it mentions it was Leo McGarry's plaque. And God, this mirror, I can't figure out.
You can say it.
You can see it.
Okay, that is so incredibly valuable.
It's kind of cool. It's like literally the last day of shooting. I looked at it on the door and I went, I'm going to take that, and I ripped it off and took it. It was just a great piece of memorabilia. So that can be signed by me and all cast members, or just me, whatever. And then I've got hey, Richard, are you still here? I was showing this baby off too. Remember this?
Yes.
So we can both sign that and send that off, but that would have been.
If you guys want, I have a bunch of scripts I can sell if you want. With it,
You do?
Yeah. Yeah.
We should all sign them or something.
Yeah. As many as you want.
Oh my
Wow.
God!
Well, I would
yes.
say what, Brad? For that, I would say if you have that many, anyone donating $1,000 or more tonight to the Actors Fund, you'll send that receipt to donations@Stars in the House. I would say for now, so that we can be on the up and up, since it's the Actors Fund, we'll say you autograph them. And if anyone else can do it, it's bonus. I know where Tim Busfield lives, so I know I can get his signature. Anyone who's in New York, I can get theirs. And then for $1,000 or more.
And I promise we won't let Malina sign it.
Yeah,
That's
had it with him.
$2,000.
Hey, Tim, you told me. I'm trying to find the
about your. I'll find it up.
So Tim, you said your favorite.
Richard.
Allison, what do you think Tim said his favorite scene was out of all the scenes he did with you? What do you think he told me it was?
Oh God, we had so many great scenes, but I love the goldfish scene. We had that was a fun scene that we had, the goldfish scene.
That's what he said.
You know him well. Stop right there. You know him very well. Let's play it.
Okay. Well, oh no, I was doing something else. Sorry. 1 second. First of all,
right there.
1, 2, 3, goldfish.
Now I gotta go fish.
Give it to me.
No.
No, you'll kill it.
You think I can't take care of a goldfish?
I absolutely do not.
Your name's Gail, by the way.
The fish?
Yeah.
You named it Gail?
No, the guy in the store.
Oh, come here. Thanks for the fish.
Keep your head in the game.
Aw, tingle.
Ooh.
That was very sexy. Our first kiss and goldfish and I remember that. I remember exactly. We weren't on. I know what stage we were on. I remember a lot about that scene.
Yeah, it was and the setup was Brad and I. We shot in Washington, and Danny asks, "What is she like?" And he says, "Goldfish," and it turns out it's the crackers. That doesn't like goldfish. She wants the crackers. So it's sort of, one of Aaron's setup payoffs. It was really great.
Yeah.
I have signed. I tell you what, if anybody wants a signed goldfish box, I sign a lot of them. Whatever price you want to put on it. I'll also throw in a Zoom acting class or a directing class for $500 for 1 hour.
I'll pay for Malina to take it.
I saw your Funny or Die. Did you write that Funny or Die, Brad? Was that yours?
Amy and I wrote it.
That was pretty genius. That was great. What a good sport Joshy was to kind of let to go there. That was really funny.
Oh my God. All right, Timmy, we're going to see you tomorrow. That's an amazing offer. So guys, donate and then put in the receipt that you want this amazing class.
$500 for the Zoom. And Tim, we'll see you and all of your something.
Good to see you, Timmy.
I love you guys. I miss you guys.
Miss you.
Okay, we've got to talk to the president while we have the president here.
Yes.
So, Mr. Sheen, I don't know the history of the show. Is this the kind of show that they came to and they said, we want you to play the president? Or was it literally you had to go to like an audition with 10 other people?
No, but when they came to me, the part was only occasional. I think they wanted me for 4 or 5 episodes the first season. It wasn't about the president or his family. It had very little to do with. In fact, there was no one cast for the pilot in the family. It was just about you guys, And then I had a feeling when NBC saw the the pilot, they were going to ask who worked in that office. And so they came back and we renegotiated. Yes. But
I feel like you're such a political person. Is it the kind of thing where you fantasize about being the president one day, but then after playing it, you're like, oh my God, I would never do it in a million years?
No, I love doing it. And it wasn't just I think all of you guys would agree that we knew we had something very, very special. And our only concern, or our chief concern, was that that we felt there was very little chance that you could sell products, cars, insurance, whatever, with a political show with a very liberal, democratic liberal view. And so that I think is what was the most astonishing thing. Weren't you guys astonished when the show took off and we just kept going and kept looking over our shoulder and said they're going to catch up to us any minute now, but we kept outdistancing them all the way. So yeah, that was very, very rewarding.
Wow. I think we all too, like the farther we get away from it, even Richard is grateful.
Hold on, he's eating. Hold on, let's bring him back, Brad.
There he is.
Okay. We're going to take our medical break in 1 minute, so he'll be able to he'll have some more time to properly eat. Go ahead, Brad. Finish your thought before we go to the medical break and before Janelle falls off the screen again.
Well, no, this is.
I just want to know what he's eating.
This is a lesson for cinematographers. When someone's eating, you want to shoot them from underneath their nose.
All right. On that note, we're going to take our medical break. President Bartlett. No. We'll be back. Richard can finish eating. Melissa, Allison, hold on. Please welcome to the show our friend, Dr. John LaPook, Chief Medical Correspondent.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hi. Well, okay, confession time. I self-prescribed. The doctor should never prescribe for themselves, but over the past year and years before, I self-prescribed episodes of West Wing. Truly, my YouTube, when I was on the elliptical this past year, YouTube, it knew to start off with a suggestion from West Wing, and it just it was not only the magnificent writing, but the magnificent acting and the spirit that you just saw right there that comes leaping across the screen and gives you a hug, even with all the craziness that went on in the show.
John, we've been doing the show together for so long. It's like you read our mind, because we literally have a clip here and we labeled it medical break. And because I wanted to say we've had so many friends, especially, and I know all the cast members had, and we'll talk about it a little bit more, over the past year, 2 years, maybe 4 years, have watched The West Wing over and over again, talk about comfort TV, to just feel like, oh, that's normalcy. And here's the clip that we picked to prove that point.
The public will not forgive a president who withheld information that could have helped them or saved lives. Second, in a crisis, people need to feel like soldiers, not victims. Third, information breeds confidence. Silence breeds fear. That's my argument.
Wow. So the very first 60-minute piece I did, that 60 Minutes did, about COVID was a year ago.
Yeah.
Beginning of March. And Tom Inglesby, professor of medicine at Hopkins, said that. I said at the end, do you remember? I said, it's the instinct of a public figure to try to reassure. He said, John, we are not departments of public reassurance. We're departments of public health. And even if the news is worrisome, the fact that people know you're telling them the truth and the whole truth and nothing but the truth, the first rule of public health is reassuring, even if the message is in and of itself worrisome.
Right. John, because we have a whole new audience here, and of course we're way behind because you know how we are at Stars in the House with clips and people talk, and it's a lot of fun, but I don't want to lose the opportunity here to stress for you to tell people that this is not a vaccine, to talk about the vaccine, because there is vaccine hesitancy, that it was not just developed in 1 year or even 2 years. Could you, you can't say it enough times. Can you explain that?
This is an extraordinary technological tour de force that is very safe and effective. And I know that there was the sense with the term, and it was a little bit of an unfortunate term, I think, of Operation Warp Speed, thinking they just raced through it. How could it be safe? The technology behind this vaccine began 20 years ago, at least, probably more. In 2003 was the first SARS outbreak. That vaccine took 20 months to make. And it was a platform technology, which meant, basically, metaphorically, they would take the previous vaccine, unscrew the part that made it specific for whatever the virus was, and screw on the next one. So it got less and less. H1N1 in 2009, and then Zika in 2016 took 3 months, and this took 2 months. And so it wasn't just that they said, let's make a vaccine. We can use my mother's barn. It was done very carefully, based on previous science. And it was 2 months before Operation Warp Speed even started. What was sped up was the testing process. The testing process, they cut the red tape without cutting any of the corners. I did a very deep dive on this. The FDA did. People I really respect, Francis Collins, the head of the NIH, Tony Fauci, all said the same thing. It was a pandemic, so there was all hands on deck. And instead of having phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, which was like figuring out dosing, safety, bigger safety, with usually months or even longer in between, they just did it all at the same time. They had everybody working, 24/7, and then they had the smarts. You have to give this credit to Operation Warp Speed to bet and say, we are going to pay now over the summer for them to start making hundreds of millions, millions of doses of the vaccine, so that if it is successful, and boy, was it ever, Pfizer and Moderna, 95% protection against getting clinical illness and 100% protection against hospitalization and death in the trials between the two of them of about 74,000 people. Then when it was given authorization, instead of saying, okay, let's go make some vaccine, they were already making the vaccine. There were some glitches, but now you're seeing 2 million, even more a day. And by the way, when people are saying, I don't want to be a guinea pig, 74,000 people in the trials for Pfizer and Moderna. And how about 100 million doses now that have been given? So if it's 1 in a million side effect, it's safe. And I know there's some stuff about AstraZeneca. We could talk about that. The European equivalent of the FDA said actually that it's a very, very low, if any, effect, risk of having clots. But the ones that are out there in the authorized United States, Johnson & Johnson, Pfizer, Moderna, these are safe. They are effective. There's no doubt that the benefits far outweigh the risks.
Okay, I wanted, before you go, is there anyone from the West Wing cast? You can raise your hand and we'll bring you on. Martin Sheen, anyone else that has a question? I had a feeling. That's where we go. Martin Sheen.
Yeah. Well, Doctor, I'm a big fan of yours. Thank you for your good words about the West Wing. And I just wanted to share a medical story with you.
Yeah.
A guy drives up to a hospital and he sees a guy sitting there with one leg. And he says, is this place cheap? And the guy says, it's going to cost you an arm and a leg. And the guy says, but you still have 2 arms. And he says, I had a coupon.
John LaPook, that's your sense of humor, by the way.
No, it's thank you, Martin, for that. And ergo, Aaron Sorkin.
There you go.
That's hilarious. But thank you very much for the joke, and thank you very much for so many things, so many moments that lifted my heart and lifted my spirit. And Allison Janney, pop on back in.
Right, you guys are pals.
John.
Hi.
Oh, John, hi.
Hi. I mean, really, thank you for it all. And on another time, we can talk about, people have gone through tough times. I know you have during this personal times during the pandemic. And this is what gets us through it. The writing, the acting, the love, the camaraderie, the seriousness of purpose, and not just the words, but the order that the words are in. The words matter. What people say matters. And when you see the speeches, Marty, I don't know what people call you, Mr. President.
He likes that too.
They really were things that literally, this is not hyperbole, that literally I was playing as I'm on the elliptical, having come back from the COVID wards, having just heard some public figure say something that made me upset, and then wondering, is there reality out there? Do people still understand what truth is? Are there people with logic?
Right.
What's going on? Where's the reality testing? And then you watch an episode of West Wing and you say, okay, at least there's a place in the universe where it exists. We'll find it again. We'll find it again.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
God, I hope so, John. Yeah. I think Seth too. Seth, you're the one who introduced me to John, and John, you were so helpful to me during this the pandemic year. Like you were just a godsend to me, and I'm such a fan of yours now. And I wish I had a. Oh yeah, I do have a question, because a friend of mine had a Pfizer shot, and then they said that then they couldn't get an appointment until like not past 3 weeks. But how long is long?
The Pfizer is 4 weeks. That's such a good question. I love these practical questions. I get them all the time. We should have more of them, Seth and James.
Yeah.
So 4 weeks is what they say, right?
They say 3 weeks.
Well,
but
3 weeks from Pfizer, 4 weeks from Moderna, right?
But if you can't get one within 3 weeks, how long before it's
right? So it's 3 weeks from Moderna, right? And 4 weeks, or do I have it wrong?
3 weeks for Pfizer. 21 days for Pfizer. They say you should get your second shot. But if you can't get an appointment in there,
right?
How soon after that does it null and void your first shot? So you have to start over again.
Whichever it is, it's that the problem with waiting is that you are vulnerable in that period.
Yeah.
However, it turns out that even if you wait a little longer, that the second shot still works plenty well.
Okay.
It's just that you are vulnerable during that time. That's the problem.
Okay. All right.
But it doesn't go away. Your first shot doesn't go away. It just means it takes
First
longer.
shot doesn't go away.
Okay.
Richard has a question. Richard's done eating, so he's got a question.
I'm sorry, the sun is like.
I'm done eating for now. I'm going to have another meal at some point in my life. But I have a question. I had COVID, as many of you know, and was in the hospital for 6 days and all that. And no one seems to have the answer as to whether I should get a vaccine, and if so, when. Should you wait for the antibodies to dissipate and to, nobody seems to know the answer to that.
So yeah, a lot of this is in progress, but you're probably protected for a good 3 to 6 months. So people are saying all you probably need is one shot of Pfizer or Moderna.
Oh, wow.
As a booster. And it could probably be, it could be 3 months later. You want to make it long enough so that you don't want to have a lot of antibodies there that are gobbling up the spike protein that you've just made with the messenger RNA. It's a technical stuff, but you probably want to wait a little bit. But then, probably just one shot is good enough.
It's been it's been almost 4 months now. And so should you get an antibody test? Is there a way that they can measure how much you still have and whether you should get it at that point in time?
You could check to see if you have antibodies. What along those lines, everybody needs to know, because people are making this mistake, that when you get a vaccine and you get a normal antibody test, it's going to be negative, because the type of antibody that's measured when you get sick is called the nuclear capsid antibody, okay? And that's the one that the routine antibody test everybody gets measures. The one that when you get a vaccine is an antibody against the spike protein we've all heard about. That is not measured by the typical antibody test. So I've had a bunch of patients say, I just got an antibody test and I'm negative, but I got the vaccine. Yes, it's going to be negative. You have to have a special type of test against spike antibodies, or what's called plaque reduction or neutralizing antibodies. So people need to not get freaked out when they get that antibody test. But I'll bet you, I don't think anybody knows exactly what it is, and you probably do have some protection for 6 months. But at some point in the near future, you could go ahead and get a vaccine, and I think you'd be trying to just get one dose as a booster. But talk to your doctor, as we always say.
Talk to your local doctor. All right, Dr. LaPook, we're going to see you tomorrow for 30-something. Thank you, Dr. LaPook.
We're going to bring out everyone else, and we've got some new people to add. Brad Whitford, Janelle, let's see, Melissa. Who else? We can add.
We have the new president.
The new president.
Is Mary coming, or is she?
Yes, she is. Jimmy Smits, and then Mary is going to be here in a second.
Green screen.
Hi, Jimmy.
Hey,
Yeah.
we're gonna auction swag off.
Oh my gosh, I've got my chair back too. I forgot about that. I could get that off.
Oh my gosh!
Hi,
All right.
Seth. Hi, James. Hi.
Hi, Jimmy. And Mary McCormack. Hi, Mary.
Hey, Mary.
Hi. Hi.
The Actors Fund is incredible. When I graduate, I mentioned this before during the LA Law thing. When I got out of grad school and I was pounding the pavement in New York, I got a pair of shoes from them because I needed. So we're happy to find ways to give back, and they've done such an incredible job, not only with AIDS, HIV, and all the wonderful work in terms of medical stuff. So send money, folks. If you're liking what you hear here with all the wingers, send some cash.
The Actors Fund, they literally have something called the Shoe Fund, where they think when you go for an interview, you should have nice shoes, and they actually will buy you a pair of shoes.
Wow.
Wait, Mary, we were talking about Josh, that Malina was like, we need to have music on the show. And we're like, why is Josh so obsessed with this cast doing music? So it turns out I didn't realize, Mary, you literally starred in a Broadway musical. What up with that? When did it happen? How did it happen? Go.
I played Sally Bowles. There was a long parade of us. I think I was third in. I was after, it was Natasha and then Jennifer Jason Leigh and then me.
And did you audition, or was it like?
Yeah, no, I auditioned. Yeah, I had to audition. Yeah.
For Rob Marshall, what'd you have to do? Maybe this time I want
I
details.
auditioned for Sam Mendes.
Sam Mendes. Oh,
I think I auditioned for both. Yeah.
And are you one of those, like, when I was in high school, I was Lori in Oklahoma, or were you like, I never sang?
I did musicals in high school too, but like Allison, I think, when I was sort of a big fish in Edison, New Jersey, but probably not destined for Broadway. So, I saw Broadway shows when I was little. It was what made me want to be an actor. I grew up in New Jersey. So for me to do that, to play Sally Bowles on Broadway was sort of like, I was a wrap for me. I was done. It's a career wrap.
But I'm always like, is it fun playing like a drug addicted, devastating person? Yes. Or is it like, can you leave it? Or when you go home, are you like, I want to kill myself?
No, you could leave it. Alan Cumming was the MC, so we would head to the Limelight. So you left it.
But the Limelight closed in 1989, so that doesn't make any sense. Didn't it? Anybody?
No, the Limelight came back. There was like a second Limelight. There was.
Don't argue with Mary about that. She knows her nightclub.
There was a second Studio 54 too. I know my gay clubs on both coasts.
Yes, Queen. All right, so people are like, "What is cabaret?" Mary, you may not remember this, but here you are, sassing it. I'm obsessed with this. Everyone, take a gander at the sassafras.
Wow. How do you have that?
That's amazing. I had that dream last night.
I was 30.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love that haircut.
He has a good haircut. I was young.
I used to make Mary McCormack.
How do you have that? How do you have that tape? I want that.
I'll email you.
I want to show my children that. Yeah.
How old are your kids?
I have 16, 13, and 9, all girls.
Okay.
They're old enough.
Oh yeah, they're old enough to handle it.
Oh, yeah.
I saw the movie.
They
when I was
listen
like,
to it all the time. They know it by heart, Cabaret.
I love it so much. And by the way, speaking of musicals, Jimmy Smits, you're about to star in my favorite musical ever, In the Heights. Give us some inside scoop on In the Heights.
Star is stretching it a little bit. I appear briefly in the film. Yes. No, we're real excited about it.
I mean, you get to be in the whole opening number. I mean, like that's the best number in the Heights.
No, I'm very excited about it. It's John Chu directed it. He directed Crazy Rich Asians, and it's summertime, and hopefully it'll be people be able to see it in the theater.
Yeah.
Where are you doing it? Where is it? Where are you doing it?
Movie.
Oh, it's a movie. Okay.
Yeah, the movie version.
In June.
I think it's going to make Anthony Ramos a huge star.
Yeah.
He does a great job. He does a great job in it.
You know, Bradley's giving a lot of sass to Malina about acting, and Bradley, it's because you cut your teeth really in the best kind of acting school there is on All My Children. Am I correct?
Uh-oh.
Oh,
do you have a clip of that?
You better believe we do.
Oh, no.
I wouldn't dare show this clip.
Hey, Greg, how you doing?
Hi. Is Robin here?
Yeah, she's upstairs pulling herself together for our date. We got a little biggie here going here tonight. You know what I'm saying? You want me to give her a message or something?
No. No, I'll come back later.
Don't go away, Matt.
Don't flatter yourself,
Dip.
Oh my God, that's so good.
It's
Nice lip.
subtle.
His
I'm
lip was
digging so deep into this quarry of emotion.
Nay, don't say nay.
Oh my God.
So before we wrap up here, we actually have one more surprise guest. We had Tim Busfield, and this gentleman, I tried to make my mom guess who it was, and it didn't take her very long because, like all of you, a superstar, and I grew up with him, Mr. Alan Alda.
Hi, guys. It's so good to see you. I'm so glad to be here with you all.
Yay!
So good to see
What
you.
a sight for sore eyes. So
Yeah.
lovely to see you.
I got Jimmy Smits. Jimmy, I for years I've wanted to apologize to you. When we did the live debate, that was for me one of the highlights of my life. I don't just mean as an
Me
actor.
too, Alan. You're gonna make me cry here.
I mean, just in my life to be up there with you and doing that. But here's what I have to apologize for. I really wanted to be elected president. I don't mean I wanted the character to be elected. I wanted to be elected. Somehow I thought I was the character. And I think if some of that spilled over to you and you thought, what's wrong with this guy? Because I'd like sabotage you here and there.
No,
not willfully, not willingly. But I wanted to be elected so badly that after we had shot the show and it was all edited together and I was watching it on television, as the results were coming in, I still thought I had a chance.
You don't know, but you did.
Oh my God.
That was so much fun to be there with you. And I think I really thought that I made you uncomfortable because I wanted to do it. So excuse me.
Not at all. Not at all. It was like doing a play. It was, listen, I was a huge fan of this show when it started, and I was so happy to be part of it towards the end of its run. And these guys are wonderful. But Alan, this moment, the live episode, the debate episode, Alan, it's like if I can count it on my hands, the times where I felt like we were doing a public service as well as giving drama for 40 minutes.
Weren't you amazed at how the audiences, we had two different audiences because we did it twice, once for the East and once for the West. The audiences were completely different. The first audience was watching a debate. The second audience thought they were at a rally for Democrats. And it was the West Coast audience. And I at one point you said something and they cheered. And I had the next line, and I went off the script and I said, "Oh, just a minute, I got something really good to say."
Well, I'm not sure which
I'm so glad
this is, but we have a little bit of a clip of that debate.
Now, an unthinking liberal will describe the airline bankruptcies as the evil capitalists screwing the worker
I didn't say that, Senator. I don't think you should put words in my mouth.
No, I know you didn't say it. You're not an unthinking liberal, are you?
I know you like to use that word liberal as if it were a crime.
No, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have used that word. I know Democrats think liberal is a bad word. So bad you had to change it, didn't you? What do you call yourselves now? Progressives?
It's true.
Wow.
So again, another wrestling episode that could be done today. It's time. I mean, for better or for worse, it's timeless.
I have a funny Alan Alda story. When Alan came on the show, it was towards the end of the run, and we were shooting, and I think Alan came in midday, and I was at lunch, and we were on location and sharing a double banger, and I was exhausted.
Double banger.
Went
I think it's a bunch of actors on here. They know what that is.
Not everybody knows what that is.
I know, but the way he said double banger was so
I noticed
very good.
Kind of.
He had a double banger every day at lunch. I noticed that.
No, but I'm trying to take a nap, is what I'm saying. And I hear he's I guess got a scene coming up, and he's going la 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 la.
And I apologized to the wrong guy just now.
Hey, Alan.
And I remember thinking, he's warming up. It's Alan Alda. You're 70 years old. You're warm.
Hey, Alan, there was one of the cast members here who was on your side, and this is a scene with Mary and Josh Malina. So you had one. Seems like you had one vote.
You had
from this scene.
Vote.
A vote.
I'm not like you. I don't live and die with the Democratic Party. I want to see the next president through this crisis in Kazakhstan, whoever he is.
You keep saying that. The next president, whoever he is.
Yeah, well, the NSC's a nonpartisan.
Did you vote for Vinnick? You voted for Arnold Vinnick?
So you had a vote. You had one vote from these cast. Mary.
CNN came to me while we were shooting the show, and they said, we did a poll, and you're losing. And I said, well, it all depends on how the scripts are written. If the script wants the writers want me to win, the people are going to like the character.
Mary, did you know?
I lost anyway. I'm really pissed about it, you know.
Move on, girl. Mary, did you know that you were voting for him?
No, I mean, I didn't know until I read that script, but I would assume because my character, I mean, you know, I was national security. I had a military background. Not that they're all conservative, but I was. I think my character was more conservative leaning, independent to conservative leaning.
Isn't it fun finding out that stuff about like each week, like something new about your character?
Oh yeah, I mean that's the fun part about TV versus theater. Like Janelle was saying, it is true. Like you know, long into a run, you're like, I'm the killer. Oh, that's weird.
Hey, Mary, Melissa, before I forget, you just reminded me. Tell everyone about your book because you two are writing a book together, right?
Finally, there's a West Wing book. What is it?
Yeah.
Melissa.
Go, Melissa, go.
Well, we're writing a book because of these guys basically have inspired us to do it. You know, the service that has been inspired by the show and the ripple effects of the legacy. And Allison, you said the ripple effects and I've stolen it. But the ripple effects of the show in terms of civic life and in terms of public service and other kinds of service has been extraordinary. And as you can see, each and every one of these people will do whatever it takes to make the world better and to help people. And certainly Martin Sheen has been such a leader in that and shown us the way. And I think that the rest of us follow him on his march towards social justice. And
so
we
now
are
it's
all
my
so
fault.
grateful. He's too humble. He's not going to listen to it, but it's the truth.
It's
This
true, but
man
wherever
is-
we go, we hear people say like, "Oh, I volunteer at this organization, or I'm on the Hill, and I ran for a Senate seat because of the West Wing."
Yeah.
So it's just to sort of see the ripple effects of the discussion of public service. Aaron described the West Wing as a love letter to public service, and it really was. And it has affected so many people, and it's such a gift. So our book is not just about the West Wing; it's really about the West Wing, and it's as a love letter to service, public service,
and a love letter to the West Wing too, in a way.
When is it coming out?
Yeah, when is it coming out?
Oh my gosh! As soon as we finish it.
When's it coming out?
We're working on it every night and every weekend. So about probably a year, right, Mary?
Yeah, probably a little less than a year, I hope.
Yeah, less than a year. So, but it's been really great. We've been interviewing people, and some of the people on this screen have been interviewed, and some of them are up soon. But we're interviewing everybody. Like yesterday, I talked to one of our makeup people, Greg LaCava, and we're just interviewing everybody from the show. And it's just so exciting to see what this show meant to so many people who had different roles. It really was a family, and I'm so grateful
It was
to
a
know
family.
all these people.
It ruined us for other TV. I mean, we never left the set. We all just hung out and laughed. I mean, it was just, there's been, no other jobs are like this. It was the best, the best family ever.
Yeah.
And who's going to read the audible.com version? Because Malina needs a job.
Oh,
so.
I was going to say it's a love letter to public service and a Dear John letter to Josh Malina.
Stealing that. I'm stealing that.
I mean,
So good.
Can I just ask if this is appropriate? Jimmy Smits, do you remember the gag that Malina and Brad?
No.
Is that not something we should talk about?
Janel was
but
in
it
on
is-
it. Janel was in on it also.
Awful.
That was my idea.
No.
What?
Serious.
It's weird. It's very unlike me, but I was watching near Valentine's Day, Brad, as usual, massaging one of the actors, and he was kind of like giving like a nice back rub, shoulder rub, friendly massage to Jimmy. And I was sitting there next.
Hello to Jimmy.
I was sitting next to Josh, and I said, "Look at Jimmy. He looks uncomfortable." And then I said, "Wouldn't it be funny if we sent some really like luscious, beautiful flowers to Jimmy from Brad for Valentine's Day?" I don't know what came over me. I've never done this before or since. It was just like an evil streak. I think it was being in proximity to Josh Malina.
Yes,
I really
yes.
do. His like evil energy, because he's a terrible prankster. I was trying to impress him. And he said, "Well, I happen to have some stationery I have stolen from Brad in the event that something like this came up." And so he wrote a personal note to Jimmy and he said, and we spent a lot of money, like $300. It was like the size of a car,
So I come in to shoot, and I hadn't seen Jimmy before, and they're like doing final touches and everything. And Jimmy's across the room, and I see Jimmy go, and I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "I'm like, what?" And I go over, and he throws his arms around me, and he goes, because apparently this was a vaguely erotic note that
Josh wrote. I had nothing to do with the note.
It was like, of course, the note was beautiful, and the flowers are better than I gave to my woman, and I love you too, man. I'm like, what the hell is that?
Look at Jimmy.
What it speaks to is what Josh and I never expected, because we're both horrible people, is that Jimmy would be touched, and Jimmy would think it was nice, because Jimmy's a nice person, and he's not like a cynical, horrible person like like Josh Malina and I. And so he was like really touched. And then Josh and I were like, oh no, this is horrible. So it was all very fun and good. And I hope Jimmy has forgiven me over the past 20 years.
But you know the revenge I got, right?
No.
What was the revenge?
I was left untouched, which I
well, the revenge, I tried to get him cut into, I had a check written for a couple of $1,000s to the guy who edited the SAG Award memoriam reel. And I was going to get it cut into the memoriam reel, which it's good it didn't happen, because of course it would have been the greatest thing ever for him to be watching TV and declare dead to show all of show business. But the guy chickened out, thank God. I got to write a couple of scripts, and I wrote a scene where he would have to say repeatedly in a scene with Allison that he can't act. He's a terrible actor, and that he doesn't like to pretend. And that exists. He made it into the show.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay.
You guys are hilarious.
We could be here all night. We're gonna wrap up, but before we go, Allison, one last time. I know the sun has shifted.
I know.
Show everyone if they've maybe they've already donated $2,500 or more.
Yeah, we haven't checked.
But if not, if you can't get it, it's okay. People can look at the beginning of this video. But what you have? Oh, you have it right in front of you. Okay.
I have
look at that.
Okay, I want that.
The sun.
Yeah.
So, but the
We can see
CJ
it.
chief of staff official, thing that went on my desk. What do you call this? This thing. It's a thing. And then I got this that I ripped off the door of CJ's office on the last day of shooting, and on the back it says Leo McGarry, chief of staff.
And before I forget, Janet Sheen said that she's got a couple of books written you have it right there, Martin. Look at that.
Look at that.
$250.
Autographed.
Not by just
at no extra charge. Emilio and I.
Look at that.
Oh, cool.
So guys, you got to forward the receipt, $250. You will get that book autographed. Guys, you're also generous. Look at that T-shirt, lightly worn. Is that what they say? Lightly soiled.
Never been worn. I mean, but I could go like this and have a little.
Allison will wear it.
For an extra $100, Allison Janney.
23andMe.
Guys, we could figure out some kind of swag thing, and then we've done this before, and have everybody. It'll go around to people and sign it. So
Yeah.
Okay, so basically, the short of it is, we're all just figuring this out. Donate whatever you can to the Actors Fund. This is an honest group here. If you donate $500, we'll figure out something that's really amazing and unique that we will send you. That's the bottom line.
Yeah,
$250, $1,000, $2,500. You have the idea now of what you can get. And we have one last surprise.
Yes, because like we said, Malina wanted music, and when Allison was in 9 to 5, there was a beautiful love song that was sung to her, and I don't really sing well enough, so I thought.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I thought.
Who is it?
Oh, hey, Allison. How are you? It's Andy Carl.
Andy! Aw, Andy Carl!
I am shoehorned into this conversation. No, I am. But you do. And we were in 9 to 5, where I was shoehorned into the show as well, with a character that wasn't in the movie originally. Joe as your love interest. And I sang you this song towards the end of the show. It goes something like this. Love can grow in the strangest places. Might find love in strangers' faces, waiting just around the corner for all you know. Love can grow where you least expect it. Take a chance. Don't reject it. Love will grow if one just lets it. Let love grow. I know you have feelings for me too, but you're afraid to try and love again. I know your heart is true, but this is oh so new. I wonder what I'll do if I should let you in. It's a chance that's worth the taking. Love is out there for the making. Find it in the eyes of someone that you know. In any color, shape, or fashion, there is no denying passion. Love is always everlasting. Let love grow. Love can fill the empty spaces, dry our tears and all their traces, mend our broken hearts and heal our souls. Hindsight's always out to blind you. Look ahead and not behind you. Look for love and let it find you. Let love grow. Love will grow if one just lets it. Let love grow. Let love grow.
You know, Andy, that was so beautiful. I just have to tell you, for me, I was trying to find my line in that song, and then all of a sudden I saw on my screen, "You have been muted." I was trying to.
You know, it's you were great in that show. You sang great. People saw you, loved you in that show. So, including me, I wore these ridiculous glasses, which I'll be happy to auction off tonight as well.
Oh my God! Yes, you did.
And
70s.
You know, it was you just come off West Wing, and here I was, probably in the chorus of some other show, coming into the show and having to play opposite you. One of the most intimidating moments of my life. But you taught me so much, and it was just so much fun, and we had so much fun. I made so many like backstage songs and videos. I made like a sexual harassment help video with you back there from 9 to 5.
Will you send some of those to me? I mean, like, I want to see those.
They're hilarious.
I think I need to see those with Tori Ross. My God, we did some really great.
We're actually planning. We're going to do a 9 to 5 reunion, so we'll talk about that privately.
Oh, good.
All right, guys. It was amazing.
Thank you so much. The donations were amazing. We'll figure out what gets sent. $2,500. You know, Martin Sheen's book. We've got it down.
And we got the new book. Well, the new book. You guys will come back in a year when the new book's
and Mary,
out.
you'll come back in a year. Keep working on it. Everyone needs to be reading your book.
ASAP.
Alan,
we will.
Great surprise guest.
Thank you, Alan.
Alan.
All these presidents
Martin.
and would-be presidents. All right, thank you, West Wing. Thank you, viewers. Thank you, donators. Thank you, the Actors Fund. We'll see y'all tomorrow with 30 something.
Yeah. Yes. Bye, everyone.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Let love grow. I know you. Da 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 da.